let me just kind of point out a couple things about your soil that I feel like are relevant. The first thing on the standard test that I see is you have a organic matter of 1%, which is unfortunately quite low. And what this means is, yeah, you probably have a gravelly, rocky, sandy soil that just doesn't hold organic matter like a clay soil would. And that's just, so it's partially just a function of the soil texture. But it also is a function of where you live in the country. You know, generally organic matter levels aren't super high in arid environments because there hasn't been eons of tropical jungles and plant growth and forests and things like that. You're in the desert. There's just not a lot of vegetation that's gone into that soil over the long term. So the best solution for you, in my opinion, for your nutrient management is simply large amounts of biomass, of compost, manure, mulch, small amounts of wood chips and biochar. I mean, any carbon-based input, and specifically just compost. I mean, large applications of compost, I think, will work wonders in combination with just garden it, cover cropping. I mean, whether it's your vegetables and your trees, or if it's a cover crop, like a living cover crop, over time, that will really start to raise organic matter and just start pushing carbon into the soil. It's a long-term process, but the combination of carbon-based inputs and actually like cover cropping is the best solution for the soil. And, you know, mineralization through organic amendments will help, but at the end of the day, over the long term, you just want to get more organic matter in the soil. That's sort of your insurance policy against all nutrients. So that's the first thing.
Would worm castings be in that category?
Totally. I forgot worm castings. Okay. Worm castings are great. You know, the problem with being in Nevada or Arizona or Colorado is the same problems with the water that we're looking at and the same problems with the soil that you have are also going to be seen in the compost that you buy commercially around you. It's probably going to be high in sodium. It's probably going to be high in, you know, calcium and sulfur. And so it's like, there's not a perfect antidote from a compost standpoint generally, because it's going to have the same sort of underlying pattern as these other things in the environment. But still, castings, if you can make them, just carbon of all kinds. I mean, like heavy mulch, leaves, and I would personally, in an arid environment with low organic matter, I actually like tillage only because I'm able to incorporate these carbon sources easier. You can get them deep. I mean, you can like just broad fork or double dig organic matter as deep as you can go. And then over time, you can back off on the disturbance on the tillage. But for right now, I would just try to get tons of organic matter in that soil.
Okay. Yeah, it's rocky out here. I have to use a jackhammer in order to get down low.
Oh, man.
So yeah, it's pretty brutal.
I mean, so that's the other thing that soil tests won't show you is rocks. I mean, rocks are like, obviously everyone knows rocks are not good for plants, but so sometimes the best investment you can make in a field or a garden is rock picking, which is extraordinarily time and energy intensive. But like there's these old farms around here where the entire edge of the farm is like a giant pile of rocks. So some old timer, some pioneer, literally like picked the rocks out, and that was the best long-term investment they could have made in that field, because to this day, like, people can grow in it and they're not, and I know you're in a garden scale, but there's implements on tractors that can, like, they're called rock pickers that can remove rocks from fields. So anyway,
that's interesting.
Yeah, get the rocks out, jackhammer it, go as deep as you can go, and in the process, as you're disturbing it and getting the rocks out, try to get castings, organic matter, mulch, anything in there.
This clip is brought to you by AC Infinity. Use discount code MrGrow at 15 to save on any of their products.